last two podcasts, we have talked about the regulation sector and the demand of microinsurance and how Microsoft approaches it. In the last and this third podcast, we'll be talking about client awareness, which we have briefly touched upon in the last. With me today is Sunil, who is with the Microinsurance Practice Group of Microsafe. Can you throw some light on client awareness and how Microsafe approaches it?
See, microinsurance globally faces a latent demand. If you see, microinsurance is more of a push product. The same is true in the case of you and me as well. Unless we have a push from someone else to buy microinsurance, we generally don't buy it. So it never happens that you wake up on a particular day and say, okay, today I have to buy microinsurance. So this is where client education and insurance awareness plays a major role. So when you see the client awareness of microinsurance, I see three important things. The first is the knowledge level of the client. Does the client really know what microinsurance is all about? The second one is the perception. That is, does the client perceive that this entire concept of microinsurance, does it act as a risk mitigation strategy? And the third important thing which I see is the perception of the insurance provider. Say someone like a LIC, clients are more comfortable with being a government company. So there is a lot of work which needs to be done on client awareness and client education.
Okay. And I think there is also this component about the affordability and willingness part of microinsurance, which market research might help.
Yes, affordability is very important. Whenever a client buys microinsurance, they look at the premium. Premium is very important, and vis-a-vis the coverage which is offered. So when you see some of the insurance products which are offered under the NGO parentage, this becomes a very important issue. Like NGOs try to keep the premium low so that more and more clients can access the product, and they don't use actuarial pricing. But when you see, this is not a very good thing. Actuarial pricing should be a very important component when you price the product. The classic example of this is the Umasida scheme in Tanzania, which did not do well because the product was not priced very appropriately. To give you an example, suppose there is a health insurance product and it has a coverage of say $300, but the hospital bill of the client is around $600. Then you see the gap of $300. So where does the client go? The client has to go again out into the market, borrow from expensive sources, borrow from money lenders, and again they are back into the debt trap. Right. So the insurance has not served the purpose here. So similarly, when you look at agricultural insurance products, these days experts are also pricing in this concept of basis risk, which is basically the difference between your coverage and the actual loss. So I think this balance between a low premium and the coverage becomes very, very essential.
I think that's very interesting because unlike agriculture insurance, many other insurance products the practitioners doesn't follow the similar principle. Let's take life insurance and India for example. If I take the income of a person or a low income person to be similar to what NREGA worker gets, so it comes to 10 to 15,000 per year.
Right.
And so according to the human life value concept, the approximate coverage should be around, if I understand correctly, 1 lakh to 100,000 to 200,000 rupees or $2,000 to $4,000. In contrary, the regulator has said that life microinsurance product should have a coverage of $600 or 30,000 rupees. So I wonder, why should a person try to get this kind of a life insurance product if they are not getting coverage for what they are losing out?
Yeah, precisely. This is the most important reason why we conduct a market research. And so the market research, the idea is to try and understand what kind of premium the client is ready to pay and what kind of coverage is expected.
Right, but I think Sunil, it's also a concern about the affordability, whether the poor people, the clients, can actually afford such high premium insurance product.
Yes, if you ask me, if they know the purpose of insurance and also how risk management will help them cope up with challenges, I think they will definitely go for it. So as you said, there has to be this understanding of premium and as well as the coverage. So insurance companies and implementers need to come up with certain innovative mechanisms of distribution of the insurance products, as well as they can also look at things like offering group policies. But whatever it is, they need to come up with things which help them give a insurance policy at a low premium, and also to have a coverage which is adequate enough to cover the risks. So I think if that is done, then the purpose will be solved and it will attract more poor.
Now in this 3 podcast series we have talked about the demand, the industry, the regulation and the distribution part of it. Thank you Sunil, thanks again for your time.
Thank you.